All right, let's get into one of the most incredible and honestly one of the most heartwarming stories to ever come out of World War II. It's the story of a soldier who was unbelievably brave, incredibly loyal, and just loved by all his comrades. The only thing is, he was a Syrian brown bear.
I know what you're thinking. That sounds like something straight out of a movie, right? A bear enlisting in the army and serving on the front lines? But this isn't fiction. This is the completely true story of Wojtek, and it all starts in the most unlikely of places.
So picture this. It's 1942. A group of Polish soldiers are making their way through Iran. And there they come across a local boy with this tiny, starving, orphan bear cub. A Polish lieutenant named Piotr Prandis. Well, his heart just went out to this little guy. He buys the cub, and with that one simple act of kindness, he saves its life and sets in motion a story nobody could have ever predicted.
The soldiers decided to name him Wojtek. Now, in Polish, that means happy warrior. And what a perfect name that turned out to be. It was like they could already see the brave, joyful spirit he was going to bring them, especially during some of their darkest days. And this is so important to understand about their relationship. Wojtek wasn't a pet. He was never a mascot kept at a distance. No, he was fully integrated into the 22nd Artillery Supply Company. I mean, for these men who were surrounded by the absolute brutality of war, he wasn't just some animal. He was family. He was one of them. And believe me, he acted like one of the guys. He'd sleep right alongside them in their tents. He loved to get into these playful wrestling matches. He even learned how to drink from a bottle. And yeah, sometimes that meant sharing a beer with his comrades. He was just this constant source of joy, a reminder of a life beyond all the fighting.
But then they hit a problem, a big one. The unit was getting ready to deploy from Egypt to Italy to join the fight, but the British High Command had a strict rule. No pets or animals allowed on the transport ships. The soldiers were absolutely devastated. Leaving Wojtek behind? It was unthinkable. So they had to get creative.
And their solution was just brilliant. If Wojtek couldn't come along as a pet, well, then he would become a soldier. So they officially enlisted him into the Polish army. They gave him the rank of private, his very own serial number, and even a paybook for his rations. Private Wojtek was officially on the roster. He was staying with his family.
And this is where the Happy Warrior became a true legend. The unit was thrown into one of the most ferocious and bloody battles of the entire Italian campaign, the Battle of Monte Cassino. The fighting was just relentless, and the stakes were unbelievably high.
So right there in the middle of all that chaos, Wojtek sees his brothers, his fellow soldiers, struggling to haul these heavy crates of ammunition. And with no one telling him what to do, he just gets up on his hind legs, walks over to the trucks, and starts copying them. He started carrying these 100-pound crates of artillery shells himself. And get this, he was calm, he was fearless, and he never, ever dropped a single one.
You see, it was this deep, unspoken bond they had. In the heart of this terrifying battle, here's this bear working side by side with men, not because he was trained to, but because he belonged with them. It was a perfect, incredible display of mutual trust. They really were brothers in arms.
After the war ended, the story takes a bit of a bittersweet turn. The Polish unit was demobilized in Scotland, and, well, they just couldn't keep Wojtek with them anymore in civilian life, so he was given a new home at the Edinburgh Zoo. His whole world changed. His life of adventure, of wrestling and sharing tents with his brothers was replaced by a much quieter, more solitary existence.
But here's the thing, not even the walls of a zoo could break a bond like the one forged in war. The connection between Wojtek and his fellow soldiers, that was for life. A little thing like physical distance couldn't even begin to diminish a friendship that deep. His old comrades would visit him all the time at the zoo, and they said the second he heard them speaking Polish, Wojtek would just light up. He'd stand up on his hind legs to greet them, let out these soft, excited growls, and would gently take the cigarettes or treats they'd offer him. He never forgot his family, not for a second.
And that's what it all comes down to. To the men of the 22nd Company, he was never an animal they owned. He was a comrade who had shared their biggest fears, their greatest joys, and their heaviest burdens. He was their brother.
Today, Wojtek's legacy is literally immortalized in stone and bronze. You can find statues honoring the soldier bear standing proudly in Poland, the homeland of his brothers, in Italy, the place where he showed his incredible bravery, and in Scotland, his final home. His story has become this cherished piece of history in all of those places.
When you really think about it, the story of Wojtek the Bear is so much more than just a strange wartime anecdote. It's really this powerful testament to the idea that friendship and compassion and loyalty, they can show up in the most unexpected ways and in the most unlikely of places, even right in the middle of a world at war.
So we're left with this thought. The story of Wojtek isn't just amazing because it's true. It's amazing because of what it shows us about connection itself. What does this incredible happy warrior really teach us about the bonds we make and about who we truly consider to be our family?